If you want it, Kerblam it. If it's all the same, I think I'll stick to Amazon. Stick around.
Why, hello there, YouTube, and welcome. So, as you know, I am Davros, and I'm a Whovian, and it is this week's Who review, and it is on Kerblam. Now, before we go any further in this review, I'm going to throw out there the usual spoiler warning. So if you've not seen this week's episode, well, don't watch this review until you've watched the episode and then come back and watch this. Okay, so, here we go. So, the episode starts where they're on the TARDIS, zooming through the vortex, until they get to the Doctor gets a package from the company Kerblam. And it's a service robot that gives her the package, and in it she finds a message that says "Help me." And of course, next thing you know, we go on this whole thing thinking, okay, who's this? Is the system of Kerblam getting an intelligence of its own and fighting back, or is the big boss in charge and thinking, is he doing all this? But then they turn it around and it turns out to be the young maintenance guy who's committing treason by somewhat of like, well, thinking robots are taking everyone's jobs, and then he's like, they took our jobs. South Park there. He's like an extremist and believes in that violence and destruction is the only method. Okay, so let's get on to my likes and dislikes about this week's episode. First of all, my likes. Now, I liked that there were a lot of Easter eggs and hints to previous Doctors, particularly the 11th and 10th. Because at the beginning when the Doctor gets her package, it's a Fez. And when I saw that, I thought, oh, Fez, and I think she did mention she did make an order a very long time ago, and I thought, it's a Fez. I think back then it was the 11th Doctor that made that order, so, yeah, nice touch to the 11th Doctor era there. There was also another moment where they're in a scene and the Doctor says, Yaz or Ryan brings up the subject that she used to poke a wasp's nest to see what happens, and then she mentioned about the time when speaking of wasps, did I mention about Agatha Christie? That was a huge throwback to the episode The Unicorn and the Wasp from series 4, so I like that as well. I also liked this week's guest appearances we had in it. We had Hayley Cropper from Coronation Street. I don't know her real name, but I just know her as Hayley Cropper from Coronation Street. We also had Lee Mack in this as well, and I was surprised at his limited time in this. I thought he was going to be in it throughout the whole episode, giving us the comic relief and that, but he didn't, and that's a dislike there, that he wasn't in it as long as I thought he would be. But, in the screen time he had, he did good, but I felt like his character was very underdeveloped and was basically made to be killed off, unfortunately. Yeah, I also liked the robots in this. I'm thinking, robots, classic science fiction touch. You know, man-built robots. Yeah, I like the robots in this. The, you know, and yeah, I mean, whenever there's robots, they're all bound to be bad robots, aren't they? In this. Yeah. Yeah, so I like the robots. But what else did I like on this? Yeah, I just thought this was an okay episode. Definitely a lot more better than last week's episode. I mean, last week's episode was okay. The week before, of course, that episode was quite dull, wasn't it? But this one, it's like ever since that filler episode with the you know, the little Lilo and Stitch monster, ever since that episode, it's kind of gone up again for me in the storytelling. I don't know whether it's because Chris Chibnall hasn't written these last few episodes. In fact, we're not going to get another Chibnall written episode until you know, the finale now. So yeah, but I thoroughly enjoyed this one. Of course, other things I have errors with it. I have is excuse me, it was somewhat predictable, making you think the robots were the villains, but then they change that around and turn it round on us and that, and make us think, oh wait, so is it this guy? Then it turns out to be that guy. You know, it's just, in the end we find out the real menace is the maintenance guy. Is it? I can't remember his name now, but yeah, he was. We thought for a while he was good, but then in the last 10 minutes we find out he's the extremist villain in that, and stuff. Of course, he's offered a chance to live, but doesn't take it. Also, I thought the weaponry in this. Now, I don't say much about the weaponry and stuff, but in it they had bubble wrap. Bubble wrap with tiny little micro bombs in it which destroy people. Yeah, very, very, you know, unique thing I don't think I've seen. You know, I mean, I've seen in the past like letters with like this herb on that will knock you out, or like, you know, insanity gas in a package. But yeah, never would I think, oh, it's the bubble wrap. Anyway, other likes, Jodie Whittaker, great as usual. You know, she's proven to me that a woman can play the Doctor as always, and that I loved her in this. I loved how she tried on the Fez hat like 10 did in the Day of the Doctor. Well, of course, the only Doctor a Fez will ever sue is the 11th, because Matt Smith made the Fez and the crazy hat's his thing. Yeah, so you know, Brandley Walsh was great as Graham. You know, I like Graham. Ryan and Yaz, again, they were at their best in this. Yaz, yeah, Yaz has took me a bit of time warming up to, but I'm alright with her now. Ryan, I adjusted to him after a few episodes. Yeah, the whole gang's great in this now. I'm used to it. I've took to them. So, final thoughts and ratings. I enjoyed this episode. You know, very much of an improvement of the last few we've had. Will I enjoy it second time round? I don't know. I might watch it again at some point and re-review it again someday. But for now, this episode, you know, was an okay one. So, yeah, there was a few effects, like a whole cheesy green screen effect, which I could tell was green screen and that. But it's Doctor Who and it's on its TV and that, you know, you can't blame that for it. So, yes, let's see my ratings. I'm going to give Doctor Who Kerblam. I think I'll give this a 3.5 out of 5 this week. Yeah, 3.5 out of 5 for Kerblam. So that has been my Who review on this week's episode. So yes. Okay, so yeah, I think that's pretty much it for this week's episode and stuff. Have you seen it? Let me know down in the comments below. If you like this video, be sure to give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and to hit that notification bell so you can stay up to date with this channel. All of my social media links, my Twitter, Instagram, it's all linked down below, so yeah, be sure to check all that out. And yeah, until next time, run for your life.